Hi, everybody. I'm Diva from the Solution Engineer team here at once.com. I'm glad to have you all here today for the webinar. And as you may know, the topic for today is about how Once can help the enterprises replace Jira and Confluence. And over the past few years, we've assisted hundreds of enterprises who are exploring the Jira and Data Centers on-prem solutions, and we've helped them to migrate from the Atlassian instance to the once.com platform. And since Atlassian announced the end of support of the data center version last September, we've seen sharp increase of the questions from the organizations are in the highly regulated industries, such as the public sector, financial services, automotive, and semiconductor. So they have been highly strict for their data sovereignty as well as the compliance. And we've seen a lot of common questions over and over. So that's the reason why we have this webinar today. And this is not a product demo, please know that. And we will be here to share all of the experience and that we learned during the enterprise migrations, and we will answer all of the common questions and give you a clear picture about how Once can help you in your internal evaluations. So before I dive in, I would like to introduce our solution engineer, Jeremy, here today. And he will be in the Q&A sections in this webinar. And please feel free to ask if you have any comments and questions in the Q&A sections, and Jeremy will take it up. Yeah. So yeah, let's get started. Yeah, as you may know, the topic is about migrating from the Jira and Confluence to once.com, and I'm here for the solutions team. So let's start it with simple questions. Why now? So the Atlassian Data Center is reaching its end of life in 2029. It seems that we have plenty of time to prepare for it, but as you may know, that the deadline, it's not the really timeline for enterprises. And when we switching a platform from one to another, it usually means that we need to take some time to explore all the alternative options, take POC testing, reviews the security and compliance to comply to your regulated, as well as the you may need to assign a pilot team to test it, adopt it, the new platform, and after that to roll out for the whole organizations. For the entire journey may takes about 12 or even 24 months or even longer for the large enterprises. And that's the reason why the enterprises that we are talking to start now rather than start at the 2027 or even 2028. So another reason is that it's not just replacing a Jira tool. It's also about choosing a new platform for your team in the next 10 years or even longer. So it's strategic decisions. It's worth to take some time to make it right. So as mentioned, we've been asked some common questions from enterprises over the past few months. For example, do we have any plan to sunset our on-premises options in the future, just like Atlassian do? So the quick answer is no. And another question is about the scalability. Can Once cover the scalability all the way to, for example, 30,000 users? And do we provide an air gappy, especially for some public sector? They may need to make sure that all the data will run within their internet, no outbound networks. So the quick answer is yes, we provide on-prem solutions as well as the air gappy solutions with no home call. And another common question is about the functionality. Will we lose any functionality after the migration to the Once platform? We will cover and answer these questions in the next section as well. And what happens to the comments, the customization, the workflows, the plugins? This is the very common question from the end customers as well, because we know that the data center version means that they are a large enterprises. They may have many customizations and plugins when they use the Atlassian products. And the answer will be we can cover part of the popular plugins. And certainly we can migrate all the customizations, includes the workflows and all the permissions controls to once.com easily. And the final common question is about the risky of the migration itself. And I will also introduce our migration approach and the services in the next section. So this is the quick answer. If you have the same questions in your mind, so I will let you know that you're not alone today. And for the webinar, we will cover all of the answer for these questions. So the next section, I will just give you a quick overview about who we are and overview solutions. So once.com is an enterprise project management and the team knowledge-based management solutions provider. And we have over 10 years experience in these industries. And as mentioned before, that we have assisted over 100 clients to migrate their data from the Atlassian to once.com over the past 6 years since the end of the server version. And we also provide compatible product modules to migrate your data from the Jira software, Confluence, and the JSN to the once.com. And considering the plugins, we also have some compatible plugins or the native applications to replace like the Draw.io, Script Runner, ECBI, X-Ray, Zebra, etc. So this is the big picture about our product offering. As you can see, we have the Once project, replace the Jira software. We have the Once wiki, replace the conference. And these two products are our foundational products. And on the top of that, we also provide some other applications like resource management, code integration, pipeline integration, performance, which is a global dashboard. We also have the test case management, approval capabilities, and AI functionalities. And these applications are built-ins. Maybe you are familiar with the some of the applications in Atlassian. Actually, it's the plugins. So it's a quite big difference between the two platforms. So the enterprise's ready capabilities is another common questions as mentioned before. So the quick answer is that we will commit a long-term on-prem solutions to our enterprises customers. And I would like to share that our on-prem and the cloud share the same architecture, and all the core capabilities are keep the same for both the cloud and on-premises version. And that's the reason why it's easier for us to maintain both deployment options. And another reason is that currently for most of our customers, around 70% of our enterprises customer are on on-prem deployments. And that's the reason why we can commit a long-term support for the on-prem solutions. And another question from the customer is about the air gapping that I just mentioned. Like for some public sector customers, they have the highly restrictive about their data control. So the air gapping means that there's no phone call. You don't need any outbound network for these products or even the license activations. You can run it fully isolated in your internal network with zero outbound calls. And scalability. So I would like to share a case later on. This case is the largest migration cases to date, with over 8,000 users and almost 10 terabyte data from their Jira and Confluence instance. And please know that it's not our ceiling. We are now currently working with our global enterprises with over 30,000 users, and they're on the POC stage, and it's smooth so far. So we believe that we have a more strong capabilities to migrate a more large enterprises from Atlassian instance to once.com. And definitely we provide a cluster deployments with the high availability built-in. So no worries about the performance. Our infra team and our technical team will help you to design the infra based on your scenarios. So the third part is about the feature parity, and this is the most common and most concerned questions from the customers. So I just give you a quick overview about the the capabilities comparison between Jira Confluence with the once.com solutions, like the issue fields and all the issue workflow status, as well as the boards, sprints, backlogs. We have the compatible capabilities in once.com platform, and we can definitely migrate all the data from your Jira and Confluence instance to once.com. And we also have the docs wiki knowledge base migrated to the once wiki. We also migrate all the permissions, settings, and the user groups from Atlassian to once.com. And another thing I would like to emphasize is about AI capabilities. We believe that in this era, most of the enterprises are introduced AI capabilities to your daily works. So as you may know, that Jira and Confluence will not gonna introduce the AI capabilities in their DC version, and it's only for the cloud, and that's the reason why they shut down the DC version. But in once.com, for both the cloud and on-premises customer, you can enable the AI capabilities for your teams. And for the on-prem customers, you are allowed to connect your private LM with the Once Assistant, which is our AI product models, so that all the data will still run within your infrastructure, your networks. So this is just a quick overview. We have a more detailed comparison list in our docs.once.com the docs portal. So we will also share this information after the webinar. So now let's see a live demo. So the demo is not an overview about showing the Once capabilities. It's about the side-by-side comparison between the Once platform and the Jira and Confluence, so that I hope that after this short live demo, you can have a quick overview about like before and after the migration, what it will looks like in the Once platform. So I will switch the screen sharing. Okay. Okay. So this is the interface of the once.com platform, and we have the conference here today. We have the Jira here today, and I will make it as an side by side. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, this is the homepage for Once platform on the left side, and we have the Jira and Confluence on the right side. And as you can see, the landing page will be a little bit different. We have this AI home for all of the customers and users. As you can see in the AI home, we have this chat box. You can describe whatever you want to the Once assistant to create an issues, to create projects, to create a wiki page, or you can ask any questions based on the team knowledge base and under your permissions in this team. You can also ask the assistant to analyze, to summarize all the projects, issues, and your team knowledge. And I will just give you a quick example. Like I can use the natural language to ask the assistant to help me summarize the project, a specific projects, the status and risk, and generate a report under the selected spaces and name the page. And then the assistant will think, and after that, give you the results. And you can definitely preview all the contents that assistant help you to generate. So this is a very big difference in the landing page. You can always benefit from the AI assistance, and you can do more beyond this case. Yeah. So if we go to the Once project, which is replace for the Jira software, as you can see, we can also go to the same page in the Jira software, view all projects. So here you can see the side-by-side comparison. We have the similar project list here, and you can always create different tabs using the filter rules to filter out all the projects you may need to have a quick access. And we also have this tag category here as well. And as you can see, we have already migrated part of the projects from Jira software to one's projects. Let's take one of the project as an example, like the payment platform and payment platform in Jira software. Okay, so here we have an, oh, sorry, I need to access it. Okay, where's the open issues? Okay, so here, normally when you use the Jira software, access to a project means you will landing to the issue list here. And for one's project, the layout it's a little bit different. Like you can see, we have the top navigation bar here, which consists of the components, and all the components here can be customized here in the project settings. Like all the components here, you can add more components or to remove some components by simply drag and drop. So in one's project, normally we will landing a project overview here, which is the project dashboard, and the whole dashboard can be customized based on needs. We provide some pre-built widgets here, like for example, the project information, the announcement, key numbers, reports, and some other widgets here. Ready to use, you just add it to your dashboard, and you can definitely change the layout of the dashboard as well. And we can enter to the filter. So the filter will include all the work items, or we call the issue in the one's project system. So here we also have listed out all the issue types here, just like how you can find it in the open issues or all issues under the Jira software. For example, let's take one of the like issues here. For example, this document payout batch, we can copy the issue key. So another common question from the customers here is that how about our issue key in Jira software? The answer is that we have the issue key here in the one's project as well. So all the issue keys will be migrated to the one's platform as well. So we can search the issue key, and now you will find the corresponding task migrated to the one's project. And as you can see, all this information, like this is a task and assignee, login and assignee, and all this information, status, priority, creator, and the description. As you can see, the description here are migrated in one's projects. And we also have this subtask here in Jira software. So when we switch to the sub issue, we will find the corresponding link issues are migrated as well. And in the activities, we have all the histories here. We have the comments here. So the layout is a little bit different, but we also migrate all the activities, history, and comments to the one's project as well. So you may also concern about the attachment, the time log, and the link conference page. Let me take another case just as an example. For example, I search for a like this stress test, and I search for this ID, the same one. And now here we have the issue link. The issue link you can also find here, and attachment. We can switch to the attachment. So all the attachment can be migrated successfully here. And one's projects. Okay. So that's all about the linkage, all the issue fields, the workflows as well. Like for example, here in the Jira software, our workflows here. You can find it here. It's the workflows, and now you can view the workflows here as well. So the workflows are migrated as the once project workflows. So all the fields, workflows, attachment, comments, and the linkage will be migrated to the once issues. And also we have some complex rich text as well to show you, like this one, the rich text. And this is from another project, so I can just switch to another project to show you a more complicated rich text migration. Search for these issues, click on it, and now you can see that all the rich text include the tables, the code blocks, and all the bullet points, all the formats are migrated the same as what it looks like in the Jira software. And as you can see, the work log here, you can also find the corresponding work log here in the ones issues. So that's what I want to show you for the issue level. We migrate all the core data from Jira software to ones. And how about when we create a new issues? So let's take this for an example. For example, I would like to create a bug. And as you can see, you can enter the title, all the issue fields here, and the issue fields are customizable, and all the issue fields are migrated from the Jira software. For example, I create one in Jira and the bug. As you can see, all these informations like the reporter, you can also find the reporter. Okay, the reporter here is the creator here in once.com. And we also have this environment rich text. The environment rich text, the labels here, and the rest of the issue fields here are migrated to the once projects. And like the requirement source value, we can also find it in the requirement source. All the values are migrated into the one's project as well. Yeah. And I would also like to introduce like a very common asked questions about our filter capabilities. Like we have this filter, we have the basic filter. You can use the interface to do some simple filter rules, like the issue types includes all the requirements, and the status types it's to do in progress. So this is the very simple one, just like the filter rules that you can find here in yeah, you can also find it here in the Jira software as well. We also provide the OneSQL, which is similar to the JQL. And as you can see, you can like do some simple queries language. And you can also find it here in the Jira software. It's similar and I cannot scroll up. Anyway, we have the compatible capabilities for the query language. And if you have already applied the basic filters when we switch to the OneSQL model, you can also click this apply basic filter rules here. So now you can have the same like filter rules by OneSQL and the interface basic filters. And then you can save this filter as a new views, like for example, my views, and make it private or make it public and share with your project members. So now we have the my view sections here. You can always switch from different views here. Yeah, so this is about the filter. And the backlog here, we also have the similar backlog capabilities compared to the Jira software. You can also find the backlogs here in the Jira software, and the layout, it's a little bit different. So here, as you can see, we have 3 sprints here in Jira software. We also have 3 sprints migrated here in the one's projects. And we also have the backlog unplanned issues. You can definitely select multiple issues and add it to a certain sprint. Or you can just easily drag and drop to plan this issue into a certain sprint. And we also have different dimensions to plan this backlog, like by sprints, by release, by epic. So it's similar to the Jira software. And when we dive into the sprints, you will also find we provide this column views for the managers and the project members to always keep track on their sprints and just simply drag and drop to update the status in their daily meeting. So this is all about the sprints. We also have this report components. It's just similar to the Jira chart and graph capabilities. We have some pre-built reports here like work log analysis, the task analysis, requirement analysis, bug analysis, and more. For every single reports, you can dive into the reports, and here you can edit it to make some simple modifications. Like, for example, you can change the horizon axis to, for example, priority. You can change the filter rules and apply it. You can show the data labels here, and then you can save it as a new report. And after that, remember when we just kick off these projects, we have this overview dashboard. So you can add the report that you just created in the report components. And then you will have these reports here in the project dashboards. So this is about the reports. And we also have this member management in the projects. And it's the design is a little bit different from the Jira software as well. In Jira software, you may need to go to the project setting and as well as the global settings, combine these 2 features to manage all the users and the project roles. But here in one's project, you can add the roles from the available roles, or you can create a new roles based on your needs and then add the members from your departments and invite them into this projects. And only the invited users have access to this specific projects. And that's how we migrate all the team members. And when we're talking about the permissions, and the permission design, it's a little bit different from Jira as well. But anyway, we also have the corresponding permissions control like project level, issue level, backlog levels. So we will also migrate all the corresponding user groups and departments permissions to make all the permissions will keep the same as the Jira software after the migrations. So you can determine who have the permissions to view, manage the projects. And for the issue level, you can set up the permissions for each issues. For example, for the requirement, we can configure who can create, view the requirements, add the requirements, delete the requirement, update the status, change issue types, and other actions. You can set up different permissions for different team members. So these are all about the permissions control for the one's projects. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much about the Jira software and one's project. I know that the product is quite complicated and we have more features to explore, but I just give you a quick overview about the most common data in Jira and how we migrate it to one's project and what it looks like. And next one is about the knowledge base management, which is the one's wiki here in the one's platform. And I would like to switch the views to one's wiki compared to the conference. So the knowledge base management is quite simple compared to the Jira software. And I would like to say, we understand that there are hundreds, thousands of macros in conference when you use it. So currently, I have to be honest that we can migrate part of the macros from conference to one's wiki. And for the rest of the macros, if you would like to keep it the same in one's wiki after the migration, our migration expert team will work together with you and find the solutions and finally to help you have the compatible capabilities in one's wiki. But for today's webinar, I will just give you a quick overview. Like the homepage is a little bit different. We have some quick access like the recent spaces, recent pages, the favorite pages, and the pages that my team members share with me. We also have the space components here, just like the space here in the conference space directly. So we have a list of the space. And as you can see, we have a little bit difference. We have this category capabilities here in the Once Wiki. You can create your own category to organize all the spaces by departments, or you can also create a category to for your projects as well. So for a different category, we can include different space here. And I will take one of the page as an example. So here, when we access to a specific space, as you can see here in One's Wiki, you can create wiki page here. You can import a wiki page from a local file or import from the conference. And we can search for the same pages here from conference. Like I will search it in One's Wiki. So I can use this global search and go to this page. So as you can see, we will migrate all the TOC, all the taxes and formats and tables and all this informations here in One's Wiki, and all the comments, histories here will be migrated as well. So as you may can see that the plant UNL macro, actually it's supported for the migration, but there's some issues happen in my the demo environment today. So we cannot see the migrate of the plant UNL here, but actually for like the draw IO, as I mentioned, the plant UNL, the attachment, and as well as some what we call like we have this macro capabilities. So the attachment anchor and as well as the columns and the glyphy. This is the common asked questions about the glyphy migrations, the flowchart migrations, and as well as the plant UNL. All this and the status as well, the status migrations, all these macros can be migrated by default using our migration tools. Yeah. So that will be all for the One's Wiki and the conference migration and side-by-side comparison. And I would like to switch back to my slides. Yeah, let's go ahead. So about the plugins is the most concerned question from enterprises, how we can handle the plugins migration, since they rely on the plugins most in the Atlassian cases. And these are the very popular plugins in Atlassian Marketplace, as you know, the Script Runner, the X-Ray, Zephyr, EasyBI, or Power BI, and Draw.io. The quick answer is that we all have this compatible capabilities here to replace this functionalities. We will have a separate sections for the webinar to introduce these capabilities, but I just give you a quick overview and the concept about that. For the script runner, we have a native product modules, one's automations. We also have the similar plugins called OneScript, so that you can easily migrate all the scripts from script runner to the OneScript. And we also have the native product modules, one's test case to replace X-ray, as well as the Zephyr. And we also have this global dashboard, one's performance to replace, as well as plugins, one's BI. The one's BI is more similar to the experience of the EasyBI, so that you can keep all your reports and dashboard after migrating to ones.com. And for the Draw.io in the conference, we also have native diagrams in One's wiki. So all plugin data where the API cannot reach, we can do it, because I will introduce the migration approach in ones.com. We usually use the backup file migration and the database migration, and that's the reason why we can reach to most of the data in your Atlassian instance. And this is the reason why we can keep as much as the completeness of your data in the Atlassian assistance. So the section 5 is about the migration approach. And the process will be, if you are a large enterprises with a large volume, you use Jira and Confluence for many years, you may concern about how we can help you to migrate all the data. So first of all, we have a migration tool for this migration developed by ourselves, and we keep improving this migration tool in the past 6 years. And currently, the migration tool can cover almost all of the key data. And you can use these migration tools to migrate by your technical team, and our migration expert and our local certified partners can help your teams with the migrations across the whole POC all the way to the cutover. So the process will be, we will work together with you to assess the migrations, and we will also help you to test the migration in the POC process. And then we will plan the dry run before we put it in the production migrations. And then we will plan the cutover together and all the way down to the stabilize and handover. So this is the typical process of the whole migrations. And in the cutover, we have some suggestion, because for the switching from different migration means that we cannot have any influence of your business. So normally we will plan the cutover in 1 or 2 weekends, so that for your business team, they can just continue with their daily works from the last Friday to the next Monday. And this is the approach that we suggest to all of the customers. So our migration approach is quite different from other players in who may can provide the migration from Atlassians to alternatives. So the very big difference is that we don't use the API migration only. We recommend the backup and the database migration. The reason is that in the past few years, we been talked to a lot of enterprises and importance of the completeness, and for the migration, it's very important. And we think that the API have some limitations. Definitely, it's have some benefits, like if you have some like small data you want to migrate, you want to test in the POC, the API migration may seem more smooth and quick, but if we are talking about the full migration, all of your data migrate from the old Atlassian instance to the new alternative platforms, we believe that backup and database will help you to keep all the full history, comments, and issue data from the Atlassian instance to the new one. So this is the reason why we choose the backup and database migration. And we also support incremental synchronizations and to keep the one's instance the same as the Jira and Confluence instance and face the rollouts. And please know that what we can sync in the incremental synchronization is that all the issue data, comments, attachments, links, watchers, they can synchronize to the one's platform. But what we do not synchronize is that we do not synchronize all the configurations. And please know that the Jira data, it's always the source of truth. It's a one-way override. So we only recommend that we use the incremental synchronization during the POC and in the parallel evaluations. And like, for example, you may assign a pilot team to test the products, to adopt the products first. And during this pilot development, you can use the incremental synchronizations. But as mentioned, for a production, we highly recommend a short cutover window, typically 1 weekend or 2 weekend. So for the large enterprise, our team will work together with you to build a cutover plan together. So we are coming to the end of this webinar. A quick customer history. This case is the case that I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar. It's a top AI company. They have over 8,000 employees who were using Jira and Confluence, and they have almost 10 terabyte data volumes for their Jira and Confluence. And because they have a very limited time to replace this Jira and Confluence and shut down the Jira server. That's the reason why we only take 10 weeks end-to-end from the assessment all the way down to the cutover. But please know that it's a very special case since they have the regulated policy that they need to shut down the Atlassian cases. But for most of the customer, especially for the enterprises that we are currently talking to, they have a more complicated situations and they have many stakeholders from different departments or even business units. So that's the reason why they normally takes a longer time to looking for a alternative options, do some testings and also do some security and compliance reviews before they make a decisions. So once again, we recommend that you start now to explore an alternative, take some time to test the products as well as the migrations to make sure that you select an correct platform for your organizations for a long-term partnership. So that's pretty much about the contents for today's webinar. And I see that some of the questions that Jeremy has already talked to you in the Q&A. And let me see, is there any questions that would like me to show you in the live demo? Wait a minute. Okay. Could you please explain how AI capabilities work in on-prem versions, especially are AI requests processed by your cloud service or entirely within the customer's environment? Can we connect our own AI providers to or self-hosted models? Which providers, APIs, or model standards are supported? And can we choose different providers for the AI features? So the quick answer is yes, definitely. You can, for the on-prem customers, you can definitely connect your own private LN to once.com rather than use the business like the cloud versions. And if so, all the data will keep within your infrastructure and no outbound networks is needed. So I just show you here in the AI assistant configuration AI model. Okay, so here, as you can see, you can configure the AI model here, and we have some capabilities that you can configure, like text generation model, data indexing, speech recognition, re-ranking, web search, and others. So the first two, which means the text generation and data indexing, is the must-have model. So here, as you can see, you can always customize the provider, the name, and provide a key to connect your own private LN to the once.com. But since this one, so like configuration, you can change it to some other like open API compatible API as well, Azure API, Anthropic, and you can provide this detailed informations. And after that, you can use the Once Assistant using your AI model, using your own AI credits. Yeah. And another question is about which providers APIs. So I just show you here as well. And can we choose different providers for it? Yes, definitely. Like for the text generation, data indexing, you can just choose whatever you want. And the next question is about, can you explain how Agile Scrum is working on ones? I can give you a quick overview, and if you would like to see more details, you can go to the once.com YouTube channel. We also have a more detailed tutorial video there, and you can definitely register a free account and explore by yourself as well. So first of all, we have this Agile, and I will. And we have this identifier. I'll keep the sample data to make this demo easier. You can invite team members or you can invite later. I just randomly select some people to join these projects. And then we have this projects that's agile projects with some sample data. So at the very beginning for an agile Scrum projects, we may need to create some requirements here in the projects. So just simply click the create requirements, enter all of the titles, descriptions, assign the requirements to your product owner, set up the priority, and once again, all these fields can be customized. Okay, sorry. So now we have this requirement. This is the first way how we can create a requirements here. You can also import the requirements. Like we have this import requirement from a docs or from an Excel sheets. But anyway, you can manage all the requirements here. And we have this hierarchy so that, as you can see, we also show the subtasks under this requirement as well. And the next step will be we can plan the requirement into a certain sprint. So we can switch to the backlog, manage all your sprint, create the sprints as you need, and customize the sprint durations. And then, just like I showed you before, just drag and drop to plan this issue to a certain sprint or select a multiple and add it to a certain sprint. And when we click on it, we will just jump direct to the sprints components. We also have a sprint overview here to show you some key metrics. And we also provide this burnout chart by issues, time remaining, and story points. We also have the Scrum board. As you can see here, we have a swim lane. On the left side, there are all the requirements, and we can also break down the requirements into the subtask. And it's just like how you create requirements, you can create a subtask here, and all these issue fields, once again, can be customized. And after that, you will find all the related tasks on the right side. And during the stand-up meeting, you can just simply drag and drop to update the status for the task. Another thing we can do is that we have this link wiki page. So you can always link the any one of the page like the PRD or some documentations to this requirement. I just randomly select one for the quick demo. You can also create a brand new one here directly in the one's projects, enter the title, select the space. So this is how you can link the wiki page. You're also allowed to upload attachment from your local computer as well. And we also have this time management for the time logging. You can do some like time estimations and log the actual spend time. For example, Blue spent her time from 10 a.m. this morning and maybe 6 hours, and the remaining will calculate it automatically. Yeah. And we also have the testing linkage and code linkage as well, but we may need to go to the issue types and enable the tabs. And by the way, this is where you can always customize the issue fields here. So we have the test status and code links here. And when we go back to the sprints, we can find this test status. So after the scope of the requirements is confirmed, you can link a test case from your test case library, or you can create a new one. So because this demo environment, it's empty, I just give you a quick overview about you can link the requirement with the test network issues. I'm back. So continue the Scrum. Actually, it's almost the end of the Scrum demo. You can always link the test case and test plan and test results to this requirement. So this is how one's project can work together with the built-in test case here in one's platform. We also have this code link functionality, just similar to the code link in the Jira software. Currently, we support like GitLab, GitHub, Bitbucket, SVN code integration here. And as long as your team admin authenticate this Git repository in the global configuration center here, like we have this code integration settings here, you can find the repository here and when you create a code branch. So as you can see, since we don't have any sample repo here, but anyway, you can create a code branch here directly here in one's project. And after that, you will have a corresponding branch in your Git repository as well. And all code and commit history will be synchronized here in the one's project. And you can also create a merge request directly here in once. Yeah. So that's some quick overview about the Scrum process. Yeah. Can you show the story point V as the time? And are there any plans to make Agile boards more flexible to better support different ways of working, such as the Scrum and Kanban? For example, sprint support on Kanban boards, query-based swim lane, and WIP limits at the swim lane level, and more configurable board behavior and policies. So it's all about the agile methodologies. So definitely we can use the time management as I already showed you using the time tab under the tab. Yeah, and some customers may use the story point to manage the works. So here, for example, you can add a story, a user story. If you would prefer a user story management way, you can include the user story to your Agile projects. And then when we go to the issue fields here, you can search for the story point. So here we have a story point here, and you can add it to the, yeah, and publish it. And then when we go back to, so because I added to the story, So I may need to add the story to the navigation bar. And then you can find the user stories here. Okay, and the story. So now, as you can see, we have this story points here. You can like enter the story points for this user story. So this is how we can manage the measurement of the requirement size using different ways, time, or story points. And the Kanban. Okay, I would like to show you the the Scrum board first. As you can see, actually, we have different Scrum board here. By default, it's a requirement and task board. We also have this requirement bug board. But if you would like to do some modifications to fit your needs, we also have this board settings on the top right. So here, as you can see, we can add it. We can also create a brand new one. So I will take this for an example. Like you can name the board. You can to determine the swim lane display options like by parent issue of the hierarchy or by link issues or by no swim lane. So it depends on how you want to manage all this issues. For example, if I've switched to a link issues, that means I may need to configure on the swim lane side, it's a requirement or it's user story. And for this sort swim lane, you can sort by status type or by specific status. And for the board issue settings, you can select the issues type. The board issue setting means the columns in the right side. Like for example, if it's a requirement bug, that I can search the issue box. So here, as you can see, the columns here are the status for the selected issue types. And you can always select like in progress, we have fixing, we have like then we have the fix, the close, maybe we have the rejected, and the open, maybe it's in the not started. So this is how we can do some modifications based on the Scrum board. And when we're talking about this Kanban, we also have, when we create a new project, as you remember, we also have a Kanban templates as well. But anyway, for a quick demo, I just searched the Kanban board and added to this demo projects. And then you will find the Kanban board. So the difference between this Kanban board and the Scrum board in the sprint is that this component is dedicated for the Kanban methodologies. So as you can see here, we can also create multiple Kanban as you need. And we also have a Kanban board settings is where you can do some modifications, like name the Kanban, and we can determine it's the Kanban for the current project only, or we can select multiple projects, which means that you can like manage multiple issues across different projects under one single page. We can also like add some filter rules, like where the issue type includes, for example, includes only the bug, the requirements, something like that. You can update the rules. And then for the column settings, it's just like how you manage the columns in sprints. You can always determine, add more columns, drag and drop the status to the corresponding columns. And a big difference here is that for the Kanban methodologies, we have the WIP limits. So here we can set up the limitation, like for example, it's up to 5. So you can enter it as 5. Oh, sorry. I may need to update it to save it. And for swim lane, you can determine it's no swim lane or categorize it by assignee, by bug type, or by issue type. I can use it as an issue type first. And then when we go back to the Kanban board, as you can see, we have this Kanban board follow up the settings I just configured. So here, as you can see, because we set up the limitation as the WIP as 5, maximum 5, and as you can see for every column, because we exist the 5 one, so you can see that the columns turn red. Yeah, and for the columns that is no existed 5, that will be the very formal one. So this is what you can do with the Kanban board. Okay. I think I covered most of the question about Agile. Any other question? Okay, so I think that's pretty much about today's webinar. And yeah, in conclusion, once.com is an enterprise grade alternative solutions for you if you're thinking about and exploring the Jira and Confluence data center replacement. We highly suggest that you can take an action from today, and you can have spare time to explore all the product capabilities. And we know that it's not an easy thing for you to switch the platform from a Atlassian to a new platform, no matter it's ones or it's other options. So happy to have you here today. And if you want to have a dedicated demo, or if you want to consult our migration solutions based on your specific needs, please feel free to contact us after the meeting, and I can share some contact methods with you. Like you can log into our official website, once.com. There you can see all of the solutions. You can sign up a free demo. We will have a free demo for 1 month by default, and we can definitely help you to extend the POC period. And if you have any questions, you can also send an email to the support@once.com emails. Yeah. So thanks again, everybody. And if you would like to see more details about how we conduct the migration, how the script runner, X-ray, the Draw.io, as well as the EasyBI can be migrated to one's platform, please feel free to subscribe our emails. And in the next few months, we will keep sharing this experience with all of the customers and partners. Yeah. Thank you.